Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to show you how to make this congratulations card today using the Stamparatus to help make this pattern in the background. So the stamp set we're going to use today is called Floral Phrases, and it's very pretty. We're going to use this detailed stamp here and then this beautiful floral stamp along with the congratulations. To start with, we're going to use a piece of Sahara sand as our base, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. We'll just give that a quick once over with the bone folder. And then we have a piece of Blackberry Bliss, and that is cut at 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then we have this background piece that I'm going to show you how to make. So we're going to start stamping with this one. So I'm going to bring over my Stamparatus, and we're going to make a pattern with it. So what I've done is this pattern piece right here ultimately will be cut at 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. But I like to start bigger on my Stamparatus. Some people will use grid paper underneath so it doesn't go over. I just like to have more space so my magnets can stay on with a good hold, and then cut it down when I'm done. So what I've done is I know I've lined it up in one certain spot, so if the paper does happen to move, I can put it back there, and then I've anchored it on each end with a magnet. And I just want to caution you about the magnets. You can see one of mine is broken. They are very strong, and if they get too close together, they can snap together and crack, just like mine did there. So cautionary tale. So I'm just going to start at the top, and this is the little floral piece that's going to become our background. I'm just going to place it right at the top near my magnet, and then come over with this piece to pick up the stamp. Now, if you have a photopolymer stamp, there is a piece of, it's not sponge, but a piece that goes underneath this, so it raises it enough so that the stamp reaches the paper properly. I'm just going to slide this over a little bit so you can see it better in frame. So we're going to start with our Petal Pink ink pad, and we're just going to ink this up. And all we do is flip it over and press. And then if there were spots that you didn't quite get the coverage you wanted, at this point you could ink it up and go right back over into the same spot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the hinge step, and I'm just going to move it down one hinge. I'm going to ink it up again and give it a good press. And then I'm just going to continue doing that down the paper. So when you're moving the, I don't even know what to call this, the plate, when you're moving it down to the next hinge, you want it to be straight up and down, and it'll just come right out easily. So we're just going to continue this down the rest of our paper. And again, if there's any spots you see that you don't like how the coverage came out, it's so easy to just ink it right back up and go right back in the same spot. Alright, so I've got my 5 that I need, and I'm going to take this off and I'm going to start at the top again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chamois, and I'm just going to take all the ink right off of the stamp. I have a new chamois. I don't know where my other one disappeared to. And then I'm just going to take a piece of scrap just to make sure the moisture is off. And I got all the ink. I really did. There's a little moisture there, but just to be on the safe side. All right, so then we're going to come down and we're going to place this right in the middle of where we stamped. And I just want to make sure, I want my flowers all going the same way, but you could reverse it so they went the other way if you wanted. So I just want to make sure I get this in the middle of these two stamps. I'm just going to pick it up to look. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to come over, pick up my stamp again, and then we're going to start inking it up in the Sahara sand. And we're just going to repeat the same process we did with the petal pink. Just picking it up on the hinge and going right down your paper. So when you're done, the paper will be full. I'm not going to keep going because you do get the idea. And then what you do is you want to cut it down to the size you need it. And this size again was, let's see, 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. And we're just going to mount this right onto the Blackberry Bliss. And I think I said, but the Blackberry Bliss is cut at 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. Alrighty. Just mount that on. And then that goes right on top of your Sahara sand base. Like this. And then we're going to work on the centerpiece with the stamping. Just going to close this up. So the centerpiece, we're going to use that big floral piece, and we're going to put it right on Whisper White, and we're going to use the Blackberry Bliss. This is one of my favorite colors. It gets everywhere, all over my fingers, as you can see from when I was practicing this, but it's just a gorgeous color. So we're going to ink that up. Bring it over here. And then we're just going to center, well, not center it, towards the top so we have room for the congratulations. And then just press. Make sure we got it all. There we go. And you can see it's a little bit two-toned, the stamp. I just love it. It's very pretty. And then the last piece is the congratulations. So let me just grab that out. That's going to be stamped in the petal pink. Place it on the stamp. Make sure I have it going the right way. I can't tell you how many times I stamp and I've got it going backwards or upside down, or I think we all tend to do that a little bit. All right, and then we're just going to get the congratulations on here. There we go. And then we're going to put it together with one of the doilies. Let's see, I think I have, this is the one I already did. Here's one. So these are pearlized doilies, and I'm not sure how the camera will pick it up, but it's pearlized on this side, and then on the other side is flat white. So all I did was I took my daubers, and I label all mine with the color so I can easily reuse them. I just dipped it in the Blackberry ink, Blackberry Bliss, and I inked it up till I got the tone I wanted. That's all I did, and then I cut it in half. So this piece is going to be put on a piece of petal pink, and that's 3 5/8 by 2 3/8. And I'm not sure if I said, but this piece is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So we're going to just snail that up. And this is a technique, this background technique, that you could easily duplicate if you're doing a lot of cards, because the Stamparatus makes it so easy to just keep going with it. So we're going to just put a little snail on the back of this and then put on the doily. I didn't want the whole thing showing. Let's see. I think that looks good. Like that. Oh, didn't stick very well. Let's try that again. Line it up. I'm really going to press this time. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to just do the other side. And again, I'm just going to take it and line it up about the same place I did the other one, so it looks like it's a continuous piece. Alrighty, there we go. And then all we need to do is snail that on. Put a little extra so it stays. Put some more on the petal pink. And then it goes right on the card. And we're all set. So there's the card. It's not too hard to make. I think everyone can do it, and the Stamparatus just makes it so much easier. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you, and all my links will be listed down below. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.